Gary, welcome. We've got a lot of questions, and I know everybody's very busy today, so I'll just start out with a general overview of the company.
Sure. Brixton Metals is a junior exploration company. We have 4 assets, 2 large-scale gold, district-scale gold plays in northwest British Columbia, and we have a high-grade silver cobalt, actually 2 past-producing mines in the Cobalt silver camp of Ontario. And then we most recently acquired a advanced stage silver gold base metal asset in Montana.
Can you give a little more explanation about cobalt?
Sure. Well, cobalt's a battery metal. It's high demand right now and limited supply. So you've got all these. Most of the cobalt comes from the DRC and the Congo and/or Russia, and so you've seen the price of cobalt move pretty dramatically in the last few years, and you hear people talking about engineering cobalt out of the batteries, and I think that's a nice to have, but I don't think it's a reality. I think we're several decades away from that happening. But just to give you in context what cobalt value is, a 1% cobalt grade is equivalent to about 51 ounces of silver on a value basis.
Yeah.
So when you hear people talking about a 0.5% or 0.1 cobalt, which is more common, those are pretty good numbers, and we're getting cobalt grades in the several percent. So we're obviously very excited about that. And then you add on some very high grade silver on top of that, and you can see it starts to get pretty exciting.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a general question that will tie into specifics,
Sure.
and that is, it's been over a year since we last talked. I know you had some recent news come out this past week. Can you talk a bit about that? And I also want to ask you about specifics like the projects you've got going on in Ontario and Montana.
Sure. So yeah, since we met last, we did acquire this project in Montana. It's called the Hog Heaven. It's a silver, gold, and base metal polymetallic high-grade asset that we acquired for $1 million in stock.
Yeah.
So 2.6 million shares, wholly owned, and it's not an early-stage project. It comes with 722 holes that were previously drilled. They had a feasibility study done in the late 80s. They were going to build a mine, silver-weighted mine, and then of course 1990 hit $5 silver. There was no economics. So we're excited about it because we think we can move this project forward relatively quickly, and it's an advanced stage development story for us. So out of our portfolio of assets, it's the most advanced. So we're getting some traction on that and gaining a lot of investor interest there. But what today we're doing right now is we're drilling in the Cobalt camp of Ontario. We have 2 past producing mines there as part of our Cobalt camp play. The Hudson Bay mine and the Langus mine both produce very high grade cobalt and silver historically, so more brownfields exploration. And so we've been actively drilling there now. I think we've drilled about 7,000 meters. I want to say close to 50 holes. And last week we just came out with a bonanza grade intercept, 7.8 meters, 2,700 grams silver, and almost a 30% cobalt. And then within that there was a 1 meter section that was like 15,000 grams of silver, which is like 450 ounces per ton silver over 1 meter, plus 2% cobalt. So on an equivalent basis, that's like 530 ounces of silver per ton over 1 meter. So very bonanza grade. But then in lower section of that same hole, we intersected 70 meters of a lower grade nickel cobalt silver. So that's very interesting as well, in addition to the high grade. So we're busy drilling. We're going to be drilling there for the next couple of months, and so we'll have a good amount of results, I think, hitting the market.
One last question before you leave, Gary, and that is, we ask everybody, here we are in the spring of 2018, heading into the rest of the year, any other plans, projects you want to mention, or will the things going on in Ontario and Montana occupy the majority of the company's time?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where the budgets are. That's where most of the investor interest right now is, in the silver cobalt in Ontario and in our Montana project. That's going to keep us busy for the year. Between the two, I think we're off to a good start.
Very nice. Gary, I want to also say the best dressed guy here today. Gary, thanks for coming over here.
Appreciate it.
Gary Thompson is the Chairman and CEO of Brixton Metals Corporation. Best of luck.
Thank you.